Welcome to TradeTheMBA.com. This is Jonas Reporters for the 3rd of June. Well, we had a modest day. Again, we've been expecting some weakness and just sort of sideways action here with the MBI magenta under the yellow. That tends to be a soft spot, but without the white over, no real big deal. That is below the 2 point, well, actually, we look around, right around 3 to 4 range. Below that, you tend to retrace towards those close areas when that happens. Now we're in the process of this bar right now, so we'll have to wait to see when it closes. Generally from a DOC though, we've been looking at this orange stuck between the cyan and red. That usually is continuation. In this particular case, we've been going sideways, so it's continuation sideways, which is exactly what we're seeing. Very clear for us though, because below ABM yellow at 41.78. Yeah, you can expect an increase in selling. This generally is soft at its basic element. We've been seeing that happening more, particularly as we look at the 50K and even intraday. Whenever we've had peaks, they sell off, and they've just been retracing. And most of this is related to the NASDAQ, which has been generally weaker throughout this whole period. It's been in the soft zone here with the DOC for some time, as well as with the MBI having magenta below yellow. Though, interestingly enough, the yellow's been holding up. I mean, we haven't seen the decline, and that's just simply because price has been going sideways as opposed to actually dipping down. And if that starts to begin, again, it'll be more severe in the Q simply because you're already below ABM levels, and in this particular case, much bigger range to get to the 61%. Morganacci lines from a euro standpoint also sideways. A lot of this was all the hype built in. Now they just have to wait to see it actually take place as far as the U.S. being able to spend what it's proposing to do. We'll see if that actually takes place. Bitcoin, caught the buy setup from down below. The magenta in this particular case popped higher, which is a good one to see on the MBI, and then the white comes through. Now that will give you a retrace, but usually you get a pop from it, and then you get a more modest decline within that. And then as we came across later, we ended up with another pop right there that led to the retrace that took place. And then when the buy signals came through for this latest run, we've had nothing but magenta over, and that's led to a nice bounce until just this peak right here, which will eventually wear down. When you look at the daily, you've got a real big dip in the MBI white, which means it probably will come right back down to the middle range in the 37, 38 range. But interesting that playing the algos almost perfectly here from that 39 and 34 that we had previously. So fun to watch, easy to read it. Going back from the other day, we had the spike of the weight on the MBI on the 5K chart, and we expected 0% when that happens, and sure enough, we got that. Later in the day happened as well, and price continued sideways, and that's one of those considerations where you get the spike back up of either yellow or magenta. Happens right away, and then it's just a matter of waiting. You're still expecting a return to the zero, but oftentimes you get a divergence, like I say, somewhere between 8 and 13 points higher. When this came in, if you were looking somewhere around 07, you'd be around 15 for an 8-point move, and what did we get to, 14.50? Oh, no, actually, we did get to 15 right on the nose. So, and then, the slow decay. This is where it's not inaccurate seeing what we had from the dot standpoint, which was the gray and orange setups right here within these upper runs. So you still had a divergence to go against it, but overall, just waiting for it, and then or even adding to the additional setups every time green and then popped in, and then boom, and it cascaded. It went right back down to the zero and then made a new low. Then we ended up with a decent buy setup until right about here where the magenta peak is higher, and so what I usually expect from there is a divergence to the upside before it does make its turnaround. Again, that's sort of exactly what happened back here at the beginning of the day as well. This one didn't really have much of the white MBI come out at all. And so in that case, it's just a matter of waiting for that crossover dip. And in this particular case, this is kind of a beautiful setup here where you end up with the magenta below 33, you end up with magenta below yellow, and you end up with the yellow below 33. At the same time, white comes above red, but it's sort of like the dream scenario right there. And sure enough, we went to lows, made new lows. And that's exactly what you would expect from what these readings are giving us. So all in all, very happy with what we see from the MBI readings and the ability to just know that we're going to have stability within a setup, even if there's a slight move to the opposite direction. It just allows for a much easier, more comfortable way to trade. As always, though, I will keep putting up setups on the Skype chat and that. Trade well. We'll talk to you later.